Hey guys, glad you're here. I've been really into paper crafts lately. Check it out, I made one of those fortune teller things that were all the rage in the 4th grade. Since this is a one-sided conversation, I'll be doing my own fortune. Alright, let's see. Blue, obviously. B-L-U-E. 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'll pick the 18 tab. And my fortune is... you'll make a video about Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. I don't remember writing this. But hey, it's been 16 years. It's about time I beat that game. Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door is the second game in the Paper Mario series and is hailed as the best one. By me. Partly because I've never played the others, partly because of nostalgia, and partly because it's a really good game. Snappy writing, clever visual gags, and a truckload of collectibles is only a fraction of what I love about this game. There's so much to do here, but none of that would be important to me without a story. So let's get into it. In the paper prologue that starts before the paper loading screen of the paper game, Paper Princess Peach is on paper vacation with Paper Toadsworth. Paper you should realize that everything in the game is paper, so I'm going to stop tacking onto everything and only use it if it must be explicitly stated. On their tour of the Mushroom Kingdom, Peach stops in Rogueport, and a strange merchant is selling mystic artifacts, including a box that only a pure heart can open. The merchant informs her that a treasure map is inside and lets Peach try and open it. Lo and behold, Peach opens it and the prologue ends. Prologue 2 and the game begins with Mario receiving the map in the mail and leaving Luigi behind to immediately go to Rogueport, and we get this amazing scene. This game is great. Once there, he sees a female Goomba. Didn't know those existed. Being harassed by some goon in a Halloween costume. You, as Mario, accidentally become the defendant of the Goomba and have to battle him. I like this combat system. 1, because it's simple enough for children but can be made complex for adults. 2, because I love turn-based battles because I'm given the luxury of planning ahead and trying to guess what my opponent will do. And 3, I don't have to try and pull off complex maneuvers with my third-party controller. But that's not all. Leave it to Nintendo to make a fun battle even more fun. In Super Mario Bros. 3, Miyamoto revealed that the story was a play the whole time. That theme seems to carry over here, as every time you engage in a battle, Mario, its companion, and its enemy gather on a stage where an audience gathers to watch them pummel each other. The fight choreographer must be making a mint based on all the actors they trained in stage combat. But the audience isn't just there for fun, they help and hurt. They can throw helpful items like mushrooms or items that hurt you. Mostly rocks. There's a lot of other ways they interact, so I'm not going to go over it all. They just play a semi-important role in the game. Once engaged in a battle, Mario can attack by either doing the classic jump or smacking them with his hammer. That he always carries, apparently. I guess that's a reference to the old Donkey Kong arcade game. He could use a hammer to destroy incoming barrels. After using his varied moveset to defeat this goon, known as Lord Crump, Crump summons an army of smaller, even goofier goons who just jump all over Mario. But he sneaks away with a female Goomba, who introduces herself as Goombella. Not that creative, but no complaints from me. Easy to remember. She gives Mario a little smooch, leaving me more than a little confused, and reacts when he reveals he's Mario. Meaning all of Mario's adventures are known to the public. This Goomba is breaking apart everything I thought I knew about Mario. Toadsworth shows up and mentions that Peach has gone missing, and bucks the responsibility of finding her to Mario before going to relax at the end. Worthless in Super Mario Sunshine, worthless in Mario Super Sluggers, worthless in Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. Is there any game where you actually contribute Toadsworth? Okay, so I didn't write this in my script, but I just thought of this joke. Toadsworth? More like Toad's worthless. Haha! Goombella realizes Mario has a map for the treasure she was looking for, and says they should go show it to her professor, who is currently staying in Rogueport. She then officially joins your party, and is definitely the most helpful character. If you disregard the fact that you literally need almost every other character to beat the game, and she's technically never needed. But I like her because she can tell you stuff about every character and area. She's also the only character that can reveal how much health any given enemy has, so I tend to keep her front and center. When they find her professor, Professor Frankly, he reveals that she was in his archaeology class, and then she gets way too excited and cheers for her school. I never really got the whole school spirit thing. I get to go in debt to cheer for a team of people who don't even know I exist? I would never pay to show support to my school. Ugh. Dang it! That's actually a lie though. When I was in high school, my friends Ryan Prince, Will Austin, and I made it into the local newspaper by painting ourselves red to show spirit. But anyway, after convincing him, Professor Frankly tells them to get the treasure resting below Rogueport, one must obtain the crystal stars. But one can only find the crystal stars with the magical map. You know, the one Mario has. So convenient. Frankly demands to be taken, and we get another cute visual gag, and we finally get our first warp pipe. Wouldn't be a Mario game without a warp pipe. I decided to play the battle tutorial even though we already had our first battle, and Mario finally gets to stomp Goombella, something I imagined he wanted to do since first spotting her. They head down into the shores and some Goombas, who I imagine spend all day watching Grease, hit on Goombella, and she sasses them into anger. I love her character even though her lines are heavily dated now, but she makes so many good comments throughout the game, and that's the real reason I keep her out. The trio goes deep into the stores and come across an obviously evil black chest who tries to trick Mario into letting her out, something you have to do to advance the story. Once released, she curses him with the ability to turn into a paper airplane in certain areas. It's supposed to be embarrassing, but considering he can do it at will, it's not all that bad. But you know, gotta move that platformer forward somehow. I've also decided to use this as a way to improve my paper craft abilities. Every time Mario gets cursed, I'll make it myself. That's neat. Using this power gets the trio into the 1,000-year door room, and after going through some long epic ceremony, it reveals where the first crystal star is, and gives Mario the ability to use a special move, which he can perform using the map and various crystal stars he obtains on his journey. Back at Frankly's place, he looks at the map and learns the first crystal star is in Petal Meadows, and tells Mario that he told Peach that might be where the first star was a while back. You know, something he should have led with. To make up for it, he gives Mario a badge that I keep equipped for the whole game, as it makes the hammer attack more powerful for the low cost of 2 flower points a pop. Mario and Goombella go back into the sewers, fight a very easily upsettable blooper, ride the warp pipe to Petal Meadows, and finally start the real story. Almost immediately after arriving, you and Goombella see a dragon flying off to a castle in the distance. This excites Goombella, and you continue on your way fighting through various terrifying Goombas and solving easy puzzles, until you finally arrive in Petalburg so you can get your 5th badge. Learn more about the Crystal Star. The mayor, a funny old Koopa, who's hard of hearing when it suits him, tells you that Hooktail has a star, but before you can get it, you have to get the key from Swank Fortress. But before that, I want to highlight some of the more colorful characters in town. Back in the early 2000s, Nintendo was pushing hard for Western audiences to get into Fire Emblem. They shoved Marth and Warren to Super Smash Bros. Melee, and this one too tells you that Fire Emblem on the GBA rocks his socks. There's also Dupree, who Goombella despises, and I agree, and there's one Koopa who's decided Peach's top-tier waifu material. As you begin to head to the fortress, a bandaged Koopa comes to ask a question before losing his nerve and bolting. I'm pretty sure this whole fortress is just a tutorial on using items, because picking up the items outside is the only way to beat the enemies inside, and at the end is a Thwomp who says you must compete against him if you want the keys. I wonder what he's gonna do. Try and stomp his stiff while we dodge? A battle where items are forbidden? The possibilities are endless! This game is amazing! The Thwomp puts on a game show, and you have to get 5 out of 7 questions right to enter, and there's really only 2 that you might miss, and it's only if you're not paying attention. If you're really concerned, you can look up the answers online. He didn't say no cheating. If you get 3 questions wrong, you have to fight some cliffs, but we didn't get 3 wrong, so I don't have footage of that. The Thwomp lets you pass and you can collect the keys. On your way out of town, Koops is waiting for you. He tells you he wants to come to avenge his dad who went to fight Hooktail, but of course we have to tell him no. He's only gonna be a liability. Look at him. Goombella called him a real cringer. He has no self-confidence. He's obviously clumsy. He's wearing a stupid hoodie. Welcome to the team, Koops! Koops is actually a necessity right off the bat, as you can't even get into the castle without him, as 2 switches need to be hit at the same time. Also, most of the castle puzzles require him. Almost like the castle was designed with Koopas in mind. Weird. At some point you'll find another black chest. This one says he won't curse you, and when my grandfather told me to never trust voices coming from black chests and paper castles, this one seems real sincere, so I trust him. Go ahead, let him out. If you do, you're a fool and should have trusted my grandfather. He'll build this country, you know. Mario of course gets cursed, and this one lets him turn sideways so he can slip through bars easily by holding R. On the bright side, this makes this Mario Craft super easy. Utilizing this curse lets you grab a sound effects badge that turns Mario's hammer sound into the sound of crickets, which makes Hooktail weaker. Further on in Castle, there's a treasure room where a mouse is. She calls herself Miss Mouse, a thief who steals valuable badges. She gives Mario some advice, smooches him, and I'm beginning to think this whole story is written from Mario's perspective. Nothing else interesting happens until you get to Hooktail's room where she waits. First off, I love her look. The design team is brilliant. Second, she's not that menacing. Her rating pales in comparison to the rest of the story, and it's kinda disappointing. The battle is super easy with the cricket sound effects badge, as it makes her attacks weaker. Once you get her HP to 0, she begins begging you to spare her with various rewards. The first is 1,000 coins. Fun fact, when my younger and older brother watching me play this as a kid, I actually accepted the offer and they both shouted no! Turns out it results in a game over as Hooktail murders Mario. She also offers you a rare, one-of-a-kind badge. Her final offer is letting you smell the bottoms of her feet, claiming people pay good money to smell them. And because I've been on the internet at least once, I 100% believe this, and now I assume Hooktail has an OnlyFans account. Okay, so when I record my lines, I start each one with the number of what line they are, so I have them numbered to put them in my editing software. And that last line turned out to be line 69, and I am just so happy about that. Here's some free advice. Don't look up Hooktail in Google Images. It's just like Gardevoir out there. Assuming you didn't get game over for having a fetish, the battle with Hooktail resumes and she eats the audience to gain some HP back. You should still easily win though, and when you do, she'll spit out Daddy Koops, who stayed alive by hiding in the shell. I'm curious about what he ate to survive, but I probably don't want to know. He hands Mario the star that was in Hooktail's stomach, and if you're really curious, you can then go smell Hooktail's feet. The chapter ends, and the game moves to the Exxon base where it reveals Peach has been kidnapped by someone who isn't Bowser! You get to control Peach and have to take a shower as her for some reason. The paper Peach takes a shower. Think about that. And the game has a major continuity error. Look at this. Hair and ponytail, suddenly not. What a blunder. Someone better have been fired over this. Look, I'm gonna be honest here. After every chapter you get to play as Peach and teach a sentient computer called Tech how to love. It's super boring and has no real place in the story. It's just in there so Peach can relay information to Mario. Unless I have something important to say about it, I'm just gonna skip it. Next you get to play as Bowser, and he's super sassy and I love it. But unfortunately, he also has no place in the story, and it's just there to be made fun of. It's like he's Luigi. Bowser learns about the crystal stars, decides to get them himself, and gets upset when he learns someone else kidnaps Peach. So those are the two subplots we're gonna have to be keeping up with. Unfortunately. Back with Mario, he starts heading back to Rogueport when he gets a message from Peach on his mailbox SP, which is shaped like a certain handheld Nintendo system. She lets you know that she's been kidnapped like always, and that her captors are after the crystal stars too. With no time to lose, you head back to the site of the Thousand-Year Door, show your new star, and the map reveals the next star to be in Bogley Woods. Frankly says to look for a pipe underneath the town to get there. However, this is your first chance to explore the other areas of Rogueport. But I'm only gonna go for the important parts. There's a badge shop with a familiar looking clerk, and a wizard who can upgrade your partners in exchange for shine sprites. Near the Thousand-Year Door are some bars where a weird creature flees behind when he sees you. With your new ability, you can turn sideways to get through them, and the small creature's cornered, and the best dialogue option in the game is presented when he asks if you're bullies. Guess again, nerd, is the only correct option here, even though Goombella chastises you for it. The creature, named Punio, tells him that the Exxons have been tearing apart the tree his clan lives in, so he fled looking for help, and decides you're the one to do it. It being chasing the Exxons out of his home. Punio opens up the way for you and you're off to Bogley Woods. Once there, you get your second look at the Shadow Sirens. I skipped the first. Although this is technically Beldam's third. They've been ordered to intercept Mario, but don't know what he looks like, so he just strolls right on past. They brought a sketch, but Beldam, the leader, blames Vivian for losing it, so they fight over that. I'm really not a fan of the white, black, and gray aesthetic going on here. It's so drab and makes me sad when I look at it. So we're gonna speed on through. The tree's been locked by the X-Nauts, and they need the help of a nearby wind spirit to open the secret entrance. But first they need to get her necklace back from the Shadow Sirens by beating them in a fight. After that, she smooches Mario as all single girls in this game must, and joins you as a partner. They use it to reveal the hilarious secret entrance, and Punio crawls through and locks the door, getting them all inside. Once inside, you learn that almost all of the Punies, which is what their species is called, have been captured. So as a hero, you have to save them all. Starting with the Elder, of course. Her key is hidden in the treasure room, but our master thief has already knocked out the guard and kisses Mario again, causing Goombella to call her a floozy. The guard awakens, and after you thrash him, you can grab the key and save the Elder. She rewards you with her sacred stone that attracts Punies and tells the remaining ones that didn't get captured to follow you. With your own little army, you can fight your way through the tree, including an army of Jabbies that can't hurt you, but you somehow still lose if your army falls. After beating them, you get the key to save the rest of the Punies, and Punio gets a moment to reunite with his little sister, and it's adorable. Makes me wish I had a little sister, but instead I have a little brother who berates me all the time in a loving manner. I hope it's loving anyway. With your new army of 101 Punies, you can take on a bigger army of Jabbies. Unfortunately, right after you beat them, you walk right into Crump's trap. Unfortunately for Crump though, you're not bound to vertical bars. The game would be over if he sprung for horizontal. Mario sneaks away like a coward, leaving his troops behind. By backtracking to a room, he can use previous knowledge to steal a different treasure from the Punies, the Super Boots. These boots allow him to ground pound certain areas opening holes. These holes allow him to access new areas and free a Splatoon. It's a good thing he does, because freeing them is the only way to access the star, as all of them need to stand in the same area for it to appear. Right when Mario's about to grab it, Crumb comes out of hiding and naps it for himself before setting off a timer. Oh gosh, this is it. This is where my hatred of timers began. I was just a mere child the first time. I saw it, I instantly turned off my GameCube and I walked away. It took me 2 months to get the courage to come back and try again. Did you know 5 minutes is actually a really long time? More than enough to get you and all the Punies out. Once you reach the exit, you find Crump being held back by the Elder, and he disables the timer so he doesn't die. Coward. He then decides to make himself look even more like Eggman by jumping into a cockpit that turns into a mech suit. It's a fairly easy fight because Crump is just a loser, and you're given the Crystal Star. You get to do a dancing minigame with Peach with tech. Skip? And then you get to play Super Bowser Bros! It's absolutely brilliant! Although he's a bit cumbersome to control. You head back to Rogueport to find the location of the next crystal star, and your map reveals the city in the sky, Glitzville. Glitzville is known mainly for its gladiatorial arena, which I think is just a parody of wrestling. frankly tells them the only way to get there is by blimp, but the only way to get a ticket for the blimp is through the Mafia, but in much more words. It all leads to a very annoying side quest where you have to find Don Panda's daughter, who decided to elope with his right-hand man. They're just hanging out at the pier, so I don't know why they couldn't find him. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, I don't have footage of that, so we're skipping straight to the blimp ride. Oh my gosh. The city just hates the Earth, I guess. Constantly releasing balloons into the atmosphere, all these lights on perpetually, those 4 rocket engines going just to keep it afloat. Climate change is real, and it's all because of Glitchville. Whatever, it looks cool, I guess. There's a lot of interesting stuff in Glitchville, but the main attraction is the Glitch Pit, where our favorite mousy thief is. It's not a scripted interaction though, so you can ignore her if you wish. When you finally do go into the arena, you can see the reigning champ gloating, and when he holds up the champion's belt, the crystal star is smack in the middle of it. Gumbella says you gotta battle your way to the top so you can win that belt, so you go meet the promoter, Grubba. After you sign a contract, he dubs you the Great Gonzalez. He introduces you to his assistant, Jolene, who walks you through how to register a fight on the GBA, or computer terminal, on the wall. You start off in the minor league locker room, and while it's dingy, it's my favorite. Real sense of camaraderie in there. Jolene makes you register for a fight immediately, and you go against the uber weak Goomba Bros. My favorite thing about the Glitch Pit is how into it Goombella gets. She constantly trashes opponents and talks smack. It's great! By defeating enemies, you climb the ranks, and at a certain point, an egg is found at the hot dog stand, and it's big news! You and your partner save it from becoming a hot dog, and it begins following you around, hanging out in the locker room while you fight. Eventually, you have to fight an opponent that's impossible to beat with any of your current partners, and your only option is to run away or lose. But never fear, your egg hatches into a Yoshi that can take them down. But first things first. I read online that the color can vary, and you want a blue Yoshi, because I want a blue Yoshi. So let's do this thing. Dang it! Dang it! Dang, ew. Dang it! Dang it! Finally, a blue Yoshi. This feels wrong. Let's go back to green. Yoshi completely wrecks the unbeatable scrubs and allows you to move up to the Major League. The weird things start happening. You start getting emails from some guy named X who promises you the Crystal Star if you follow their instructions. They also secretly send you a new hammer that you used to get into a previously blocked room that has some important papers. However, Jolene shows up and antagonizes you before taking the papers. Later on, you receive another anonymous email threatening you, and at some point, Bowser shows up for a fight, contributes nothing, and then leaves. After that, X sends you some more instructions and has you break into the storage room. Miss Mouse, however, has already broken in, presumably for a rare badge, and gives Mario a peck before heading out. After that, X sends Mario some more instructions, which leads to him seeing a secret meeting between Grubba and Jolene, where they discuss missing fighters and how often it happens. After you win some more fight, X gets you another key to a previously locked room where you find 2 of the missing fighters who have been drained of all their energy. Unfortunately, you can't do anything for them though, and you just have to leave and go do your title match. There's a whole sub-story here where Rockhawk tries to sabotage you, but it's not important. He's a real pushover. You get set up in the nice comfy champs room and hear something coming from the vents, and X sends you one last message to go check it out. While in there, you hear Grubba talking to himself like an idiot and incriminating himself on a lot of disappearances. You sneak in when Grubba leaves and find plans for a machine under the ring that sucks energy out of fighters to keep Grubba young, all powered by the Crystal Star. I guess I forgot to mention that the Crystal Star on the belt is fake. Whoopsies! Grubba catches you snooping and skedaddles to the ring for your final, mandatory, showdown in the Glitch Pit, Great Gonzalez vs. Grubba. Grubba reveals his machine and has to transform him into Macho Grubba. Something interesting about this fight is Grubba is the only boss to actually use the power of the Crystal Star. I just think that's neat. As far as this game's bosses go, he's pretty tough. He constantly powers himself up and is a very heavy hitter. But you know, kids game, so it's kind of easy. Jolene shows up after the fight and thanks you for defeating Grubba, and then she reveals that she's X? She got herself hired at the Glitch Pit to investigate the disappearance of her little brother, former champion Prince Mush. While sneaking about, she caught Grubba in the act. Grubba insinuates Mush is dead, but suddenly the Crystal Star shoots him out. I hate happy endings. So cliche. Mario gets the Crystal Star and his reign in the Glitch Pit ends. Peach has an adventure in cosplaying as an X-Naut. Skip. Bowser shows up in Boggly Woods and is distraught Mario beat him there. Skip. My script is now on its 7th page, and the next level is the worst level, so I think I'm going to end on a high note. So that's a prologue in the first 3 chapters of Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. I don't really have anything else lined up for today, so I'll read some more of my fortunes. Red, R-E-D, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that 17 tab looks great. You will make a part 2 of this video. I don't remember writing this one either.